In the infamous Arjikar Medical Hospital rape case, the main accused, Sanjay Roy, was sentenced to life imprisonment by the Sessions Court. Following this, the CBI and West Bengal government have filed an appeal on inadequacy of the sentence, thereby demanding capital punishment. Sir, what are your thoughts or opinions on this? Do you believe that punishments for rape convicts should be based on different parameters considering the nature of such heinous crimes?
See, my view is this that in every case, the sentencing would depend on the facts of the case. The case which you have pointed out in particular, that is the ghastly murder of a doctor who was on duty and she was killed in a particular manner, uh, as is now established by the judgment. Once this judgment was rendered, it was imperative that at the time of sentencing, the court should have evaluated the touchstone of rarest of rare on the contemporaneous parameters. One has to see the overall impact of the crime, because every crime is of this nature is a crime against society, against the country or the people. So please see what is the overall impact of a particular crime on the existential aspect of the society. After this particular crime, will it not be a difficult proposition for parents to be convinced that their young girls, their young daughters who have done medicine uh, should be doing a night duty in the hospital, which is otherwise so inevitable because you need female doctors in every hospital or in clinic in every part of the country. So if a female doctor is murdered, and not only murdered, she is raped and then murdered in such a ghastly manner, please see the impact of the crime on the society. That is one. Secondly, the manner in which she was killed in itself is falling in the category of rarest of the rare because it is a diabolical murder committed in a most diabolical manner. Third, we have to see the profile of the victim, the profile of the person who committed the crime, and the circumstances in which the crime was committed. All these things, in my personal view and in my legal view, add up to a conclusion that it was a fit case where uh, the capital punishment ought to have been given.
So, in light of this, how do you think this case falls in the aspect of the rest of the red doctrine?
See, rarest of rare doctrine in our country is a very broad and very, uh, I would say, a doctrine which gives greatest amount of amplitude and possibilities to play around. The rarest of rare doctrine, by its very nature, uh, embodies uh, a a very practical approach and principle of evaluating the particular crime. Because whenever there is a question of capital punishment as per the law, then we already know that if a person is found uh, being considered as to whether he should be or he or she should be given a capital punishment, the other option is life. So life sentencing, after various explanations being given that it is not up to a particular year, number of years, it is for the entire natural life of a convict, etc. That aspect, of course, is laudable, that you try to uh, try to be in a situation where you don't have to take away the convict's life. But in the cases of murder preceded by rape, which uh, which led the legislature to incorporate the additional provisions in the penal code where if a woman is raped and murdered, or a girl child below 12 is raped and murdered, then death penalty is also an option. The very fact that the legislature has introduced these provisions presupposes, and it is an accepted proposition that this falls in an exceptional category. This in itself is a rarest of rare phenomenon, and keeping in view, as I said, the thinking about uh, rarest of rare cases cannot be divorced from the assessment of the contemporaneous situation of the society in which we are living. Of late, we are seeing that so many ghastly crimes are being committed in the most diabolical manner. People are um, cutting the body parts, putting them in the bags and suitcases. In some of the cases, we hear that the body parts have been either burnt or refrigerated or boiled, etc. So these are the examples of extreme cruelty, and I would say the most inhumane manner in which these kind of crimes are being committed. Then we are seeing the crimes being committed within the family, the incest-centric crimes, the crimes in which parents are killing children or vice versa. So overall, we are inching towards a scenario or an ecosystem where the society, the legal establishment is getting very tolerant towards the cases of homicide, and there has to be a balance struck. Either we become a country where capital punishment is banned, then there is a completely different scenario. But if we are a country where we feel that capital punishment must be retained, then we should be more judicious and pragmatic about assessing as to what is the rarest of rare cases. Right now, we are very liberal, and 99.9% cases pass through the filter of rarest of rare, in the sense that they are not being considered as a rarest of rare. Now, take the situation of RG car case. If in such a situation, the the convict is not at all put to the gallows and he survives, then the faith factor that will be eroded. The fear factor which has to be there in the criminals, that will be eroded, and there will be a general message will go that howsoever cruel, diabolical, inhumane you may be in committing a crime, ultimately, at best or at worst, you will get a life imprisonment, and that too after revisions and all, you will be able to come out little earlier than your natural life, and your the support system in your family or society will save you. But then, what is the collateral impact on the society? The collateral impact on the society is very serious. The people who put themselves in the place of victim, they will find this position very uncomfortable. There will be reluctance the part of people to come forward in such professions and vocations where public dealing is required on day-to-day basis, and people will prefer and opt for professions which are like work from home. Then ultimately, if everybody is working from home, then who is going to do these critical uh, services for the society, like medicine, like legal services, like social services, or for that matter, policing, defending the country. For all these things, activities, you have to go out in the field. And if the women are unsafe and the people who torment them and murder them are allowed to go scot-free, then and this is not considered as a rarest of rare case, then it is a sad situation. According to me, the learned judge has not analyzed this aspect in a well-considered manner.